is a government? A government can be any group of people living together in a country, state, city, or local community that has to live by certain rules. The system of rules and people who make and administer them are known as the government. Especially at the national level, a government can be a massive system that encompasses a great number of institutions and leaders. And some governments can be small or only led by one. What is limited government and what's unlimited government? Limited government, which is constitutional, is a government in which everyone, including those in authority, must obey the laws. This is common in Western culture. The U.S. Constitution is a document that is an example of limiting the power of the government. And the government doesn't have as much freedom and has to get laws passed by a bunch of people, and it often takes longer to vote. What's an unlimited government? An unlimited government, or a totalitarian government, is a government in which there are no limits that are imposed on the ruler's authority. The leaders don't have to follow the same laws as everyone else, so the ruler can have infinite power without any restriction. Alright, now it's time to get into the government. So the first one we see falls under unlimited or totalitarian, and that's absolute monarchy. An absolute monarchy is ruled by one, and it can be found in Saudi Arabia. And in absolute monarchy, the king or queen holds total power, and they can just do whatever they want, whatever they want. And the next one that falls under is a dictatorship, and it's also ruled by one, and we can find this in North Korea. The dictator tells them what to do and may use force, and anything the dictator says you have to do, or the strong military that backs him up will come. The next one, the last one we see, is communism. Communism is where the country or the state owns every single thing. So every building, factory, you name it, they own it. And they basically have total control. The one that falls under limited is democracy and republic. And a democracy or a republic is where the people vote. They usually choose representatives, and the head of state is usually a prime minister or a president. And we can see this in the USA, and it's considered to be ruled by many. The next one we see is a constitutional monarchy. A constitutional monarchy is considered to be ruled by many too, and it's almost like an absolute monarchy, but there's a constitution that says that gives the citizens rights. Alright, it's time to get into comparison in contrast with limited and unlimited. Let's start with the differences. First, a limited government is limited in its power, and an unlimited government has unlimited power. The next one is limited government has freedom and rights guaranteed to the citizens, and in an unlimited government, they have no freedom or rights guaranteed to those citizens. Next one is in a limited government. Citizens can choose what their life is like, and they can vote. And in an unlimited government, the government will choose your life, and the citizens cannot vote. Now the similarities are they both have laws set for citizens, so it's not complete anarchy, and both have leaders that are more in control than the citizens are in control. Now it's time to go into why government should be limited. Okay, I think that government should be limited because if a government is unlimited, then the government can do whatever they want when they want with no restrictions. It's good to have limits for the government so that the government cannot call executions or imprisonations at their pleas without fair explanation or court. In a limited government, the citizens have rights that they have, and they can create their own story. In an unlimited government, the government does not allow you to do what you please, and the only rights and freedom that is allowed in a unlimited government is to the government, which you're right, it's not fair. And to top it all off, in a totalitarian, the government can spy at their own pleas, which is a little creepy. And the citizens should have their own rights, and that's why I believe that every government should be limited, and most are. In a constitutional government, the roles of the citizens are to vote for rights and political candidates. In a constitutional government, they have rights to pick what they want to wear, and their roles to be themselves, vote, and follow the rules. Though they do not have complete freedom, it's exceedingly close, the closest it gets in fact. The rules are large for the citizens. In this government, their role in a nutshell is to establish rules for their state. The government is fair and allows citizens to have huge roles in it. Protests do take place, but it's not a result in a punishment. It results in a rule getting taken to argue and be reconsidered. In a nutshell, citizens' roles is to make rules for the government. In a totalitarian government, the citizens the roles of the citizens are very few, since the citizen has absolutely no control over anything. The citizens, though, do protest and try to overthrow the dictator or communist or monarch to install limited government, but only to be put in their place by the ruler. Head down, walk to jail to be beheaded. These are common words for a totalitarian government, and they can be heard throughout the streets of these types of government. The citizens should never disrespect their leaders, or punishment is put in place. Most citizens' roles is just to stay quiet and not react to anything. We'll stay quiet and agree to avoid punishment. And political reasoning, all the citizens have the right. No citizens have the right to vote for laws and have no rights to do anything at all. How can citizens affect the political process? In a limited government such as the United States, citizens may participate in lobbying groups. These groups allow the citizens and organizations to come together and raise money to create votes for specific local, state, or federal or non-elected and or elected representatives. Citizens may also create peaceful rallies to promote those candidates, and the citizens have opportunities to vote on what they feel is right for them, which is good for the citizens. In an unlimited government such as China, citizens may not participate in voting groups or elect congressional candidates to help them make the laws they want. In this government, all citizens do not affect the political process at all. No citizens can vote on a leader or other congressional members, but they can try to overthrow the unlimited government to install a limited one. But it's highly unlikely because the government sets laws, so there's no way of doing that. In a nutshell, the political process in a limited and unlimited government varies in an exceeding amount. Government is extremely important, and especially limited government. And in the words of Thomas Jefferson after he left the building, a woman came out and said, "What have you given us?" Thomas Jefferson replied, "A republic, if you can keep it."